And, just not so long ago, one of the things I thought about when I saw your son
Yeah.
was his curiosity.
Oh,
That
yes.
he was exploring, he was looking at things and checking them out and this and that. When you're in pain, that's not there.
Yeah.
When you're in pain, the volume is completely turned down in the world, and the pain is first and foremost, and you can't keep your focus for anything. And that's all of us.
Yeah.
And I think that, it was very exciting to see that, where he was checking out the leaves and kind of, there's a big bush and he was just intent with these leaves. And I was like, look at this. This is really something. He has the focus to investigate, to become a scientist, and thinking, like I said, just to investigate, and that's something that doesn't happen when you're in pain. And
No.
I think there's so many children with autism who they're in such pain that the focus is completely gone. So even though that there are limitations to what they can understand, that when they're in this situation, those limitations are through the roof.
Well, the doctor told us, she said, when you're in that much pain, you can't learn.
No,
your body is your body is just fighting whatever is inside, and you just and his it was.
We've had to make some tough decisions, and we basically said the priority is
his health, his gut.
His gut, basically his health, and everything else is going to have to take a back seat to us working on his health.
And that's the root of your immune system. That's the root of your health, is your gut. So I think that's the right focus. Everything else is kind of a side note to gut health, because with an unhealthy gut, everything else won't come along. You're going to find stumbling blocks for everything if the gut is impaired. That's the fundamental side of things. So if that's not working, then trying to fix all the little things, trying to fix a skin condition or an allergy or a migraine when the gut's bad, is going to be a losing battle. And I dealt with that myself from having eczema and migraines. Trying to focus on the migraine is pointless. It defies everything. You can't take painkillers for it. You can't, basically you just have to let it go. And when you're in intense pain, you can't let anything go. You're squeezing, you're clenching, and that's causing it to
downward spiral.
And basically you stay in pain until you're so exhausted that your body just falls asleep. That 8 hours later, throwing up and all the different things with migraines. And once as I'm fixing my gut, I had a migraine in 10 years.
That's awesome.
Which is really thrilling,
Yeah.
Maybe just to talk briefly, so that we can address it, because I know and talk to parents that overcoming the reluctance of the child to eat the proper diet. You at first juiced the sauerkraut. You made it in a more palatable form, not just for the digestion, but just kind of introduce it in a way that he would be more receptive of.
I looked at the sauerkraut as like a medication.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so our recommendation from our doctor at the time was to juice it. And then what I did was I used the little syringes you get for going to the doctor to giving your kid any kind of medication. And I would just put just a little bit of sauerkraut in that little syringe, like I was giving another medication, and give it to Landon. You just do small doses at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just kind of build it up as their gut starts to be able to handle it.
Yeah.
A funny story. We have some people that come in, will help us with Landon and play with Landon a little bit. And there was a bug going around, and I told my little friends, hey, take some sauerkraut. We don't want this bug to go to everybody. And one of them was a college student, and he thought he had the greatest gut. And so he went and took a shot of sauerkraut. He went home.
Yeah.
He stayed in his own bathroom at his own home. He realized his gut needed to be worked on after that experience, that he was not that mighty man that he thought he was.
Diarrhea symptoms are for real. And I tell everyone who's first getting into fermented foods, take a forkful.
Yes.
Take half a forkful. See how you respond to that before you take any more. Because I've had a lot of friends who think this is the greatest thing ever. This is the best sauerkraut they ever had, and eat half the jar.
Lena can do that now, and it's fine.
I've done that before. It is good.
He does. He takes a whole jar and just.
I actually, I'll eat a whole jar of kimchi with my meals.
It's really delicious. I mean, it really is. Yours is really good. I mean,
Thank you.
I
But,
really,
but yeah, when I do that though, of
but
course.
that college student learned how powerful that sour, and we still joke about it today with him because
And you know, a lot of people don't recognize the symptoms of pathogenic gut bacteria. They don't realize that maybe the intense allergic reactions you're having to hay fever, to pollen or things like this, it's actually maybe a gut problem, not a sinus problem as someone may think, or, you know, oh, I have these allergies, without realizing the condition you're in is allergic to things, not necessarily you. Like, I mean, that, you know, so this whole thing about die-off symptoms and, you know, being very careful about how much you, especially what someone's very sensitive to it. And, you know, your son seems
he was
to be
very sensitive.
I mean, his gut was in extreme condition. So you don't start off with sauerkraut. You don't start off with fermented foods. You start off with, you know, a diet rich in soups and things of this nature. I think that's a real key point, that you don't jump off the high dive the first time in the pool.
No.
You know, so like getting something, you know, working up towards this. Most of the people who are in the extreme gut problem, you know, a lot of the people I deal with, bone broth is, and it at first maybe even too much for them, but like that seems to be one of these things that they can accept early and quickly. And so, like, I always recommend soups,
just a cup of it.
Yeah, just a little bit of that's before you get into the hardcore fermented foods, because